This is Fatemeh Abolghasemi. I am a medical doctor, recently graduated, and currently working at the emergency department, and also ISAM-GEN assistant officer. And today, actually, I'm here, I'm honored to be here to be giving a brief report on global survey on treatment service provision for opioid use disorder on behalf of the excellent team we have. As Dr. Ekriari mentioned earlier, he gone through an introduction to ISAM-GEN and ISAM General Council, and I'm gonna continue the discussion with the pilot survey that is mentioned in ISAM-GEN protocol, and survey methodology, survey results highlights, and the road ahead of us. As mentioned in the ISAM-GEN protocol, it actually secures a structure based on which ISAM-GEN surveys are being ran. And for the first attempt, we actually decided to run a pilot survey to see how the processes are going to go through, how the challenges we're going to face, which platforms works best for us, if the type of questions that we'd rather ask people to be answered. And for that first attempt, actually the topic we chose was initially a universal prevalence issue of concern, which is opioid use. With actually more concentration on treatment service provisions globally all around the world. This survey is designed in two distinct phases. The first phase is the survey with contact population of addiction medicine societies, chairs, or representatives. And we're hoping to run the second phase of the survey with a target population of ISAM-GEN individual experts that we have in our database, which is actually at the moment kind of like about 500 people. Going through the methodology, first up, we had to initiate the questionnaire. The way that this questionnaire is formed is like we have this ISAM-GEN steering committee, which are the people who are holding more of the scientific aspects of initiating the questionnaires. And after their brainstorming and giving the ideas, this initial list is given to ISAM-GEN officers. They process it and implement the ideas and concepts. And then it's like back again to the steering committee. They give their comments and viewpoints on the questionnaires, and after the questionnaire is finalized, the first people who are responding to the survey to ensure its reliability and stream of components are ISAM-GEN officers again. And here in this slide, you can see an overview of ISAM-GEN steering committees with more precise facial details, and also ISAM-GEN officers in here. Going through survey questionnaires outlines, it actually consists of kind of like 5 domains. It was first like, it starts with demographic questions from the experts, and then we go through prevalence of opioid use, and then opioid use disorder treatment, opioid use harm reduction, and last but not least, survey contribution rate. The target population in this survey, as already mentioned, is like addiction medicine societies, chairs, or representatives. The thing is, as Dr. Ekriari mentioned, there are 3 target populations within ISAM-GEN that we reach out to collect data from. But for this pilot survey, it was like addiction medicine societies and associations. The platform actually we used to collect this data and information from people was Google Form. And as, again, Dr. Ekriari mentioned, we are hoping, actually, we're at the very final steps of developing ISAM portal so that experts could be engaged more in this survey process, and as Hamed mentioned. Before the start of the survey, there's this consent form, which includes what does the research involve, why they were chosen for this research, and etc., as to ethical considerations. And after experts filled the consent and was like they're into filling the survey, The invitations and reminders were sent to Addiction Medicine Society's chairs, which were actually 42 societies and organizations from 39 countries. The initial invitation was sent on July 2022. 8 reminders were sent afterwards, and the final reminder was on March 2023. And here there's this overview of the map of actually ISAM-affiliated societies who were collaborating in this pilot survey that was ran. And here you can see just more details of the things that were done behind the scene of tracking and reminders and all those kind of things. And now I'm going to go through a brief report of the initial results of the survey. First, I'm going to start with varieties of opioids in the market. It was reported that prescription opioids and heroin are reported to be the most used opioids in general, with tramadol and codeine being the most reported among prescription opioids themselves. On treatment types, short-term medically managed inpatient withdrawal and self-help groups like Narcotics Anonymous was the most reported available treatment for OUD worldwide. But the thing is, less common treatments like long-acting naltrexone maintenance and rapid opioid detoxifications were not widely available. This thing suggests that the need for a broader range of treatment options that cater to different individual preferences and socioeconomic status. Going on with treatment medication types, opioid maintenance treatment with methadone, buprenorphine, and also oral naltrexone were reported to be among the most prevalent medications used for opioid dependence treatments. But the interesting point, which was actually not very interesting, was that despite the prevalence of opioid use disorder, 16% of the countries reported no availability of methadone, buprenorphine, or morphine, essential medications for opioid use disorder treatment. Moving on with treatment settings, overall, community-level outpatient clinics, inpatient settings, and long-term residential programs were among the most available treatment settings that were treatments were done, and shelters were among the least available treatment facilities among opioid treatment settings, which was actually more prevalent in Europe. Moving on with psychosocial intervention types, all countries except for Iraq reported the availability of motivational interviews for OUD, and still the very most of the countries again reported cognitive behavioral therapy and family therapy as available psychosocial interventions respectively. Going on with 12-step programs for opioid use disorders, less than 75% of countries reported a national-wide availability of 12-step programs, a widely used support mechanism, while the North American and Oceanian countries have all reported almost nationwide availability of these reports. Opioid harm reduction services, where countries reported HIV antiretroviral treatment, HIV testing, tuberculosis, and sexually transmitted infections diagnosis and treatment as available opioid harm reduction services. And moving with opioids harm reduction settings, in terms of available settings, in-person treatment centers, drop-in centers, and outreach teams are reported to be among the most available harm reduction settings in which harm reduction services are provided. And last but not least, 76% of the countries reported HIV treatment programs availability, followed by 67% for HBV and HCV treatment programs, with the support by the health system of almost all patients with OUD. And again, my slides are at the very end of it, but the big question is how we could contribute. You can actually, we are eagerly recruiting addiction medicine experts from all around the world. You could scan the QR code, and then you will be soon involved in international collaborations with us, with actually the ISAM, within the ISAM-GEN networks. Thank you.